Anybody really had them. Red Rush, the FNCS squad champion, alongside with Sirius and Mappy. They had a really solid day. They kind of played conservatively. They were able to get a lot of placement points alongside with some valuable elims. But the thing that they have to work on is, can they continue that pace? They're pretty much playing out of body, like we mentioned yesterday, and that's pretty difficult to do in a high-stakes lobby like this.
For this team on screen, I mean, you can see the stat, the importance for these guys. On the second day of competition, it's more monumental than any other team we're going to be watching today. For like Norsk and Thomas HD, their day ones usually are kind of scraping by. They'll be in the top 10. Won't be something crazy we're watching, but on day 2, they really start popping off. Sometimes you see multiple victory royales. We see lots of high placement games. At this point, if it's going to be as easy as before. Just look at the map, how spread out it is for every single team, where the zone is going to be looking at as well. The level of competition is so high, and for these guys, I mean, they're going to have to pull out miracles from inside of them. Like, it is so difficult, especially to so be at the top. They can't miss out on one game, especially the first game, the one we're watching right now. They're going to have to do a very, very good job while they're playing, or their entire momentum will be just thrown away for the day.
We already saw a taste of Zone 1. It's going to be a northern zone, so you have Hen Trio looking really solid. You know, we already talked about Levin, talked about at the analyst desk. Nebs' trio has been doing really solid, considering they had not been finishing in the top 10. If you go back and VOD review Nebs' trio, Game 3, they ran over some of the biggest names in the region, getting 5+ eliminations, I think 8. And that is something that I have to keep my eye on the rest of the way, because they were taking out the likes of Clement. They were taking out the likes of Adil's trio. So, hey, you got to watch out for Nebs, who kind of surprised everyone during the qualifier stage, being able to qualify out of Stealthy Stronghold. They're looking really good, already primed to have a fantastic day 2, just like in Dreda, Revsguard, and Savage. And I think you said it really good, Shio. Basically, so sometimes it's good to get contested, because now they could just go ahead and post up. You don't have to really worry about Storm Surge. And even though they didn't really have problems within day 1, this makes things alleviates just a little bit there.
Watching Wakey Eye dropping can also rotate some people who are dropping on the way outside to the map.
Oh my!
Resort to just going inside cars. Sometimes though, depending on how and where you're rotating, you can just get battered up while you drive around the map. The big thing about day 2 is just to make sure you're playing that first game very close to the chest. Sometimes we're watching EU yesterday. While the game started to go on a little bit, people started to experiment, play a little bit more loose. We had, like, you know, not that many people surviving, lots of people fighting in zone. This time though, at least for this game, everyone's taking it very seriously. You're gonna start seeing a lot of bases pop up around the map. iDrop's already doing it. Here's Pizza, Ardent, and Fast Roki. This trio is the most troublesome on this entire day and on the Fortnite map. Their actual strategy is to play around other people, make sure when they're actually lacking and not watching, they take over their position. They love the third-party fights. You can see it right now. They're bothering another trio, just trying to rotate. They have to make an entire wall just to get by this river. This is crazy. Fast Roki, Ardent, Pizza, especially in the endgame, man, they love taking over height and just interrupting people. The crazy thing is, though, when there's no one to actually counter, they don't actually end up doing too much. They end up not having a game plan set in stone. So I hope they find a trio to kind of act off of, or they might be in trouble.
Now we're taking a look at Bloomy's trio, putting pressure down on Tayson's trio. Builds are on fire because the car exploded. Bloomy's trio is kind of a trio that's coming from that west coast of Fort Crumpet. If you didn't watch yesterday, they've been doing solid work, considering they've been avoiding a lot of the kind of the scary trios coming out of that side of the map. And they did really well. They've been around the top 10. A lot of people expected them just to be Storm Surge tags for that side of the map. They were able to...
Ta lavere lyd på krysset, det kan jeg gjøre.
Nei.
Kjører på den her, og så kan jeg...
Ja, den speakerstemmer blir jo ikke akkurat bedre.
Can I look at them? Or is it like flood first or something now?
Takk for at du tørker. Tørker du tastaturet greit?
It's free stuff.
Ja,
just need to be really careful for your instincts and stuff. You need to make sure that it can't get over the bridge.
Ja.
Jeg hørte Chrissy 2 ganger, men jeg tok vist feil. Ja, der var det sikkert du som hadde oppe streamen til Chrissy, Kenski. Og min stream. Det er ikke min feil, men vet du hva, det går fint. Det er bra du innrømmer at du tok feil. Bra du ikke kaller meg en jævla boomer. Sånn. Kan vi ta prediction? Vet du hva vi skal ta en prediction? Nei, beklager jeg skal gjøre til roster.
I don't know how much I got, to be honest.
I got like 200.
I think I have like maybe 100.
Okay, we need more than.
We're good for this one.
Start prediction.
We probably...
Dere hører mer enn bra nå, sant?
I think there's people on safe though.
Okay, can I tie them?
Topp 8 på Chris Theory. Prediction på det?
Ja, det er baktatt.
Hvorfor går du vekk?
Sing for...
Vi tar en topp 8. Vi tar en topp 8 på 30 sekunder, tror jeg. Topp 8.
Han gjør det bra, altså.
People...
Yeah, Johnny Big.
People will know if they need tags or something. He's standing in open.
Johnny Big.
20? Here?
Can you?
Yeah, I'm open spot now. I have 4 minutes to markets. Do you have open?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I'm 3 minis, 2 medkits, 3 stinkfish.
Okay, so you're like not that good shields this season though. Like they went on bridge by the way. I think they need Surge North. He was like bloom padding some goods.
Remember, we get push hold angles.
They probably not gonna push us, but we can like it's hard for them to push us.
Yeah.
Shoot stacked.
Don't let him headshot boy.
It's like they were based up, or that might be Shappix to them to be honest, from Craggy, so they probably have tags from off spawn.
True.
Yeah, they're pushing.
Us?
Yeah, they're going to, look.
Maybe not.
I don't know, that looks really weird. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they're pushing. Be careful, that's a bow.
Okay. I'm expanding out.
It's metal, please.
Oh,
I can't build. Oh, what? It's so hard to build. No, I got a key to input, I need to turn it off.
Okay.
I think it's good now.
They're coming.
Og kan man ikke ha på...
Let's play together,
Det
okay?
legger sikkert så mye at han
Yeah. They're on our floors.
bytter til kontroller og greier og bare blir på det. Så at han må ha det alt.
They're showing our floors out.
I cracked one on 60, I cracked him on 60.
Nice, bro.
Yeah, come back, we have space. We have so.
Don't give them time.
Yeah.
He's pushing in.
We're full center.
Så må Chris si ja i stedet.
Yeah, I was good.
Yes.
I see. Be careful, they're taking walls
They're
now.
lagging a lot.
Nice.
Oh my god, det legger så...
He's still standing in tag. He got a wall.
They're trying to kill me.
Yeah, I'm expanding. Oh, it's key to input's fucked. I pre-ed it. I'm dead. You have to build for me, please. Save it.
No, jeg tar
I
det.
can't.
No.
I'm fine right now, yeah.
Jeg må kjøre så på
I'll get the body.
Nice.
Inputen hans bugger da.
Halla Emil, halla bro.
Yeah.
Høres ikke rett å ha keys til input på.
Det bugger bare. Det gikk over til kontroller og sånn, så kunne du ikke bygge.
Are they on the walls?
I think so.
Oh, that's an age, bro.
Yeah. I got key to input glitch.
What is that?
It's like it went over to controller. It's so annoying.
Billy?
Should I use a green pumper or blue tack? They're coming back, I think.
Hello.
They're gonna need stuff.
Og du er back, jo.
Jeg er ikke back.
It's gonna get crazy as the day goes on too. These are teams playing conservative. Bad sniper inside.
Jeg måtte bare... Ja, jeg bare er
Looking for an angle. Not gonna really
I think
fuck.
this
Hvordan går det med sensasjene? Lever det?
In terms of
jeg vet
reading
ikke.
what's
Men
going on
Kissy,
screen, like confusing, you know, there's health bars to watch.
Trion så er det ikke, men
Once
han
that
døde
threshold
av
thing
en
pops up on the right
glitch,
side
en
as well,
sånn
that's like
keys to
an
input
extra health
glitch,
bar to
at
kind of show you guys how the trio's doing.
det
They're
bytta
about
til
300,
kontroller
400 damage
og
above.
ble på det.
It's really good. Anything below that, some
Han døde av det. Så ble
goes though.
pre-ed
Still
damage.
inside the storm. Hellfire's so far back. Okay, never mind. So
hele
we're
trioen
first
ikke død
side.
også.
They're actually in. Everyone's looking good. Oh, look at this.
Men så de får ikke revet da?
Side by side, close
Nei, jeg
together.
tror ikke det.
And like this is gonna be rough rotates all the way across.
Det er litt...
A very nightmare type of rotation if the zone keeps pulling north, but also a nightmare start for Red Rush, Asterios, and Mappy down already. Our third place team is out. That gives room for 4CR, Tayson, and Nate to move up the board, and Queasy, Trulix and jerky right now. Like, you nailed it, man. They've been holding on to height. They will be at height. Like, about 4 out of the 6 games, they
Kan
were
folk
on
slutte å
height.
kaste
And they
forbannet
got
på
taken
skjermen?
away from them. And
Ja,
only
det
one of
blir
them
det.
was able to
Oh my
hold on and get a victory
god.
out. So
Ok,
expect
jeg må
them
se
to
nå.
continuously to fight for
Nå
height.
har jeg fått vært
Spend
så
all
nå,
their
liksom.
mats to hold on to height.
Vi skal til
do
tiden
everything
hvor
they
vi
can,
nå.
'cause they're all in for that strategy.
Alright,
When
bye-bye.
you go all
Bye-bye.
in, you saw it already. They get down into
We should pull zone. We should pull a lot of zones here, hopefully.
Yeah.
Come on, zone. Come on. Ooh. This guy got tagged twice, I think.
Let's go.
Nice, let's go.
They're gonna need to like come below
I
us.
don't know about you, but I'm feeling kind of saucy right now. I think we're gonna do good right now.
Yeah, we're gonna win the game.
Yep.
Height is so fucking overpicking. I don't know what they're doing. They're gonna triple spray. They're building to us, you know.
A lot of people are gonna need search, by the way. They're
Yes,
connecting. Are they shit?
No,
Do you have mechanical look?
The people that fought you are gonna need search, by the way.
This is Pleasant team, I think, by the way.
yeah, it's Clement.
Yeah, he's just skin. Okay.
You have a big base though, so it's fine if they push you. Just have to be careful of climbing them. They might throw a party.
Yeah. I think we're gonna pull next on. Bandage is here. They're sneaking northeast of us, I think.
Don't have any so.
Yeah, they're in here somewhere. Do you wanna come with me?
I'm on you. We can't lose heals now, by the way.
Yeah, true. Maybe we should just not look for anything.
Lobby?
Yeah, okay, let's just chill.
Cool.
I'm gonna send this edit in case they try and do something.
Yeah, there's some. Wait, they're below you.
Below me?
I think they left. Like moved. I don't know.
Oh, they're above me now. They're trying to take height.
Are they fighting for right?
I don't know what the fuck's happening. Yeah, they are. This is so good. What are they doing on 50-50 zone, bro?
Can you come open my gun? Look.
Yeah, tell me when.
Not West speaking. Can you see more?
Oh no, they're right next to
Oh,
us.
they're like-
250 above.
Oh, we need search. A little bit of
Ja,
tackle.
de trenger mer search.
Make us chilling.
De må
Like, you're shooting for this spot. Might need moving.
De har
350.
ikke så fikk mer. Men de må burde ha litt mer.
There's people getting lobbied.
Ja, de går nedover nå.
Southwest. I'm gonna open southwest. I can both.
I got my base open, by the way.
I'm opening southwest.
Okay.
Close everything behind us so nobody can sneak up.
Yeah, just do your own angles. I'm not with you, okay?
Yeah.
Be careful so no one goes for pump on you ever.
I have stinkfish in case we really need surge, but I don't want to use them. Alana might be able to do something. Oh, this guy's trying to stinkfish me.
Yeah, the people above you might need search.
Yeah, I think they
Må
do.
lukke!
We have a huge base where we just play right angles.
Lukk!
If we get refresh now, we can easily win the game. As a
Yeah.
team.
5 people.
Hopefully we get pushed for surge, I'm not gonna lie. People are using stinkfish, bro. Okay, that's fine. We might get held a lot.
No, there's not gonna.
Let's stay together now.
It's gonna be.
You need to look for a rotate, by the
Can
way.
you look for a rotate, Rafa?
Yeah, I guess. Is this ours? Can I move? Oh, this is scary. What the?
Nice.
Yeah, I guess we just go now. Come.
You wanna go now?
Yeah.
They're getting
Well,
tired.
people in front, just jump in.
Come.
They might be below, I don't know. Okay, come on.
Don't build it. Don't build
They
on
might have been me, We're fine from behind. Do you wanna sneak in or do you wanna go around? Go around.
Careful so you
People
don't
behind
edit
us,
you
by the
down.
way.
Build back now.
Nice, we're fine. Almost in, we're putting that in.
Careful under you now, okay? Build floors under you.
Okay.
Nice, so good, Rafa, good shit.
I need
Just
to-
be careful under you.
Take. I saw you. Oi?
Try to look for a refresh now.
They're getting tagged by Surge, straight west.
Mark them.
I'm not sure where, I'm not sure, like, here.
Yes.
Here. Getting tagged by Surge, guys.
Wait,
They
we can
were.
already hold some people. Yeah, look. Here. Okay, when I get boat, this is the bad peak. Do you wanna edit this floor, maybe?
Oh.
That's so gross. Be careful under now.
I'm opening southwest.
You're getting placement now soon.
You have a harpoon, right?
You wanna
Nice,
take
bro. Yeah. Stingfish.
Hold up. Og hvis det er som er døde.
I'm gonna stop opening now.
to try to grab the lead.
Mine is
He finished
Ja.
20
Jeg døde.
Er det
Så savage.
pass, pull that rabbit out of
Ser
the
du
hat.
på, eller?
Maybe there's some magic
Jo,
here,
jeg
but
leser
his
på
job
Twitch.
is just all about getting placement as
Ja.
many points as possible
Om hva da?
before he gets lobbied.
Hmm?
Om hva da?
Oh no way!
No, this
Oh
is
no!
the third time I'm
Oh,
watching
no
this
way,
happen.
madam,
This
believe
happens,
me.
CS.
It happens.
De må jo...
These things
Oh,
close
Karsten.
range, they're so lethal though. Look at Boobox health just go
Der
down,
ser vi
down
da
more and
rifle.
more. Now he's at 30, used to be at
Nå
100.
ser
He's
vi.
going down
Og
to
det,
20
jeg
as
ligger
well.
helt på
It's
UV.
so hard to run away from those
Må
things.
heie på
Once
save.
you
må
get
si-
to close range, then they're doing
Ja,
this
jeg må si-
blocks,
ok,
blocks,
bye
dude.
bye.
Just
Ja, ja,
complex
Chris.
of builds has so many
Men jeg
top
bare
tiers
gjør liksom
and making
snart
sure he met
ser at det er verdt det som
These guys
trenger
going
på.
all in on their HP.
Jeg snakkes.
Just take
Bye,
them
bye.
by storm.
Bye bye.
Oh yeah, and the storm has already moved away from all of our competition. The first moving has been revealed and is going back towards Dirty Docks. This is going to be
Okay.
a very dirty, a very dangerous rotation. And Thomas AC and Austin Flick, we said that day 2 is
Oh
the
my God,
day.
Flick
Are they
on
gonna
us
be able to
tonight?
seize
Oh my
it
God, bro.
and have that pop-off game, Shio?
This is not only the most important day, but this has to be the most important game. The thing
Yes.
we've seen on EU, especially early, is people
Oh
like to
my
contest
God.
height. They like to interrupt Thomas, Flick, and Anas. But look how far this split goes. Thomas is back in
Oh,
an old
Jason
zone a
prøver
minute
seg.
away. Anas and Flick are already all the way on the front side, building a new base. So these guys have real estate on all
Oh,
corners of the
Rick,
map.
altså.
Janice Hen and Chapix, they're going down two on the back.
Nei, jeg gidder ikke å se på det her, altså. Det er jo masse karer som saboterer. Så
Nice.
So good.
Let's go.
You're
Top
gonna get a lot
15.
of now. 3 goals. Just stay in there for as long as you can until you back zone, maybe. Top 15.
Yeah, just stay in there.
Let's go, Rifle. You're so good.
Still top 15.
There's gonna be a lot of shambles people, maybe. If you stay like.
Åh,
That might be 1 kid. 2 goals.
What
nei.
about zero balls? Sure. Don't only shoot. Just stagger. That might be solo. The one kid you saw. Need to go now.
Top
Nice.
13.
Be careful. You need to drop, I think. Nice.
Dead body, on your left, on your left.
Oh,
Top
okay,
10.
good clutch.
Top 11. Good shit, bro.
Oh, it's so annoying. Of course, I get the key to input glitch.
Press escape when it happens.
What?
You can press escape when it happens.
Fuck, bro.
That's so annoying.
I just got out, man.
We would have been chilling, and then
But you did a mistake though. You should have expanded earlier.
What?
Should have expanded metal behind you. You were on brick only, so you were getting sprayed from 2 sides. The guys
Oh.
pushing and from behind. Yes.
Yeah.
You need to make metal.
Okay.
You know this.
I made metal.
Metal
It's just that I stood like in the furthest back.
Alright, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was metal box, and then they sprayed that, and there was a brick box.
Ja, da ser vi på Fortnite.
That heel off win condition. Anas and Flicker have to go down here. But
Ser
look,
ut som
no
det er
Riley
gå
and
mot
Badil and
Flick,
Reason are there
eller
on
at
the
det
low
er
ground.
Flick
And they're
som
gonna clean up the Slayer here.
Flick
And they
og
get
Flick
Etsy.
som
And they get
vinner,
Bad
ass.
Sniper. Noah Riley and Badil and Reason are here in the end game. And they have the potential to pop off even more, baby.
Low ground scrappy, high ground free. There's so many different types of scenes we're seeing so far in this game. One trio in the middle. Flick falls down, big fall damage. Noah Riley in his box. He's gonna hit a Vipers, and there's no chance to survive. It's too venomous.
No,
Thomas
no, no.
HD and Anas have to do this as a duo. They've done it before, but at the same time, there's so many different players of high calibers down below.
With the zone going towards the backyard, this is going to be the game that could be the signature game that I was talking about in day 1. They already almost had it, but Hen took that away from them. They're not going to let it go away here. Marvin with a phenomenal performance, the best performance they had today.
Now this is where zone starts to get so hard for the low ground trios. It's so tricky. Everything's kind of just getting claustrophobic. The walls are closing in. The zone's
7
pushing
builds.
people next to a big mountain. One last gets taken out. There's no harpoon here. Yes, Anas only has 7 builds, but it might be enough to last just 50 seconds. They have to
Ja,
connect to
det
this
vet
build.
jeg, det
They're
vet jeg.
beaming down its lasers
Easy
from the
class.
sky, and not even a planet can survive this pressure. Right now, Marvin, he's working around the build. Somehow everyone's escaped. Thomas is going for the beams when Anas finds the
Ooh.
first. They're still staying up. It's a patient game. Reason
Reason.
last alive, 2v1,
Reason
and he
mot,
can still do it. He has
Anas
all the
og
mats
Flick.
from the eliminated bodies below.
Nei,
We're going
Thomas,
over a
men.
bridge. It's going to be a stalemate for about 30 seconds. If Anas and Thomas don't drop
Oh my God,
down,
dude.
yeah, they're not going
Ja,
to.
Medkit,
They're gonna
ta
stay
Medkit
up,
play,
and
Medkit
Reason
play.
has some time to breathe.
What does Reason
En av
have
dem må
in
ta
his
medkit på en.
inventory if he has enough
Nice, let's
builds
go.
just to hold
go.
out here?
Nei.
Reason, they had the
Ja, da
day
skal vi ta
one
medkit på en nå.
victory out. Game one popped off huge and Reason could clutch it.
Nei,
No!
de trenger det ikke.
Analysis not so bad. Big elbow jump, but Reason claps back. Reason still can't even get the siphon. He does. If he can find Thomas HT, Reason could have the clutch. Oh my goodness! What? What? Are you kidding me? Reason gets the victory out. How, bro? How? Shio, are you kidding me? Are you
Thomas
kidding me?
HD, 1 second off of the met kit all the way on high ground is what I basically see and how it looks like. Reason gets the siphon at the last millisecond of time as well, wins out the game. This man, not even a troll under a bridge, a goat under a bridge,
Hva
is the
skjedde
unclutchable.
nettopp?
Let's go to the desk. Go to the desk.
Hva fader skjedde nettopp? Hva er det jeg ser
What the heck am I watching? This is just the first game! Wow! Dude, okay, listen. Reason got put in one of the most difficult situations
Fader er
you
det
can
jeg
be put
ser
in
på.
as a trio. You have
Oh
one member
my
left
God, man.
alive in those final few zones, and that member's thinking, okay,
No way.
what do I have to do? Like, what? At this point, is it placement? Is it elims? He's like, you know what? Let me just channel my sprite energy.
Hva er det jeg watcher helt ærlig?
Even if Trina's alive, the first place team has one player. He takes out Sun in mid-ground. Meanwhile, Thomas, Flick, and Anas are looking for anything right now. They only have 2 eliminations, Sancho. I've never seen them this, unaffected on the lobby. This is troublesome for them.
Really?
They're trying to wrap up this game.
Yeah, but this is where they start cooking
What
up. They
mistiming it?
both get I-Resin in
Thomas is jump. I'm gonna clutch and let this get off through, I think, in his sense. Thomas is done.
So they're gonna have to get closer already. They're setting up someone with the heals. Thomas AC is holding on to some medkits here, so he's
Just
going
twin
to
up
be
spawn.
that heal up win condition.
Game was good,
Anas
like,
have to go down here.
you were center
Look,
third as
Noah
well.
Riley
Fuck
and
that you
Badila
died,
and
man.
Reason are there on the low ground, and they're gonna clean up the Slayer here,
good
and they
rotate
get
from
Etsy,
spawn.
and they get
Hva
that
skjedde
sniper.
nettopp?
We did a zone thing.
People much now are saying this guy's blatantly hacking out shit in big zone.
Cool.
People really don't follow Fortnite anymore.
So many different
Just everyone in chat.
Så hvordan vant
Vi did a zone thing.
nesten det der?
One trio in the
I
middle.
know. Everyone's saying I'm
Det
hacking.
var ikke lov å vinne her.
Reason them them.
No way, bro.
Reason them are not pushing us, by the way. They got surge this game somehow else. Like,
Really?
yeah.
At the same time, there's so many different.
Han er 3 år gammel! Hva du mener? Han er jo ikke 18 år. Han er 19. Hæ? Han er jo ikke 19. I hundeår, ja. Hva faen? Ja, slapp av. Nei. Fuck han der. Helsike, jeg gidder ikke se på han der. Hasbulla? Hva faen? Jeg har sett det, ja selvfølgelig han russer. Han cheater seg. Jeg har sett en TikTok eller noe, tror jeg. På Twitter da. Jeg søker på TikTok. Se Thomas Horde. Hva du mener, se Thomas Horde? Jeg skjønte ikke hva det betydde. Nå skal vi se. Denne sessionen her skal vi se hvordan Wolfies de gjorde det første game.
16, but we are the same as 15, so.
Denne gangen så var det Skram og de
The
som
people in
kom til
15,
første.
they were like dying.
Og Wolfies og de,
If we get a good game like top 10, then another good game
der,
top
de
5.
fikk 18. plass. Det er 13 points. Cumulative. De lå jo jævla dårlig an i går, så de ligger for siste plass.
Han er dem at first.
Keep it up.
It's like,
Altså, de har 37 points, og de fikk 13 nå, så de har fått jævla mye mer bare allerede nå. Så jeg tror den borderrubinga hjalp litt grann, men vi må nødt til å ta en kjapp internettspeed test
I
for
like
nei.
the same, but I didn't want
Nå
to
kan dere finne IP-en min.
So,
Det er ikke gira på.
Outside of west. I got it. Less.
Men nå er det Chris Jørsborg, gutter. Jeg må nett...
What is this? Here? No, here.
I think it's
Ja, vi må se på Chris altså. Jeg vet ikke helt om jeg orker å streame her, altså, helt ærlig. Jeg orker å streame
Did
her.
Reason win that game again?
They can.
Yeah.
No,
Holy shit.
they didn't. What do y'all know? Honest number.
Again, Andrea managed to do a similar thing, clutching
no,
all
no.
the way to 12th. So
How did
great
Honest
for these
know?
guys, but again,
Perfect.
Kiriachi's team, you know, some of these other teams
Had
down that we
height.
kind of just mentioned there.
There's like two teams left. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, never mind. Nothing. I think the drop is like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna wing it. Fuck it.
You know what time it is, Fortnite fan. We're getting right back for the.
I like the same dog as my gun.
Okay, mine's decent, I think.
It's a bit in front of me, I think.
I think I'm the first ahead, right? No, never mind.
I think I can maybe get it.
He's got an AR. Never mind, he's
Oh,
got an
I can't. It's two people. I'm probably dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Really?
Yeah, wait, help me.
There's a proper shotgun I got for someone.
Oh, he's on me.
I'm
getting pushed.
I'm dropping a shotgun.
Okay.
I dropped it here. Give me shells.
I need help. I'm going up. I'm shooting
You
now.
just got it?
Kind of. Yeah.
Nice.
Nå er at han crasha det
I
der.
think he's going up.
Hva?
Ja.
There he is. They're
Han
right.
døde.
They're right.
Hvordan døde han ikke der som faktisk?
30 right.
Oh my god, man.
Oh,
Nei!
Got us.
Nei, bro. Det var for drit og... Ja, det er det.
No man. One build.
Promise you. Det er det. Er det Wolf, liksom?
Ja.
Oh.
Fuck, bro. I missed my shots, man.
On to next game.
Ja, rip. Det var litt dumt da.
Skal du kalle meg feit en gang til, eller?
Jævla, jeg skal blokke. Alle sammen går blokk, skal vi.
Nei, altså jeg synes ikke det er noe å si noe på, men det er liksom, skal du gjøre noe?
Ikke bare.
Du må jo gjøre noe, sant? Men jeg vet ikke om det der er playas. I hvert fall ikke på server de som leder. Det synes jeg bare er helt retardet, men det er greit nok. De må gjøre hva de må gjøre. Skal vi se. Nå gutta har faktisk lært. Hvis ikke de plukker opp denne her nå, da klikker det på meg. Oh my god, de er retardet.
Chance for a big flank to actually corner these guys. They have complete control of the POI. Janus is going up, fighting two people by himself. It's Knight and Vortex. Chapix has to peek from down below. 5 builds left on Janus as well. He's gonna try to run away, farm what he can as he moves inside a building. Yes, that's where you have the most protection. He's gonna play sneaky like while he attracts all the attention. This makes room for Chapix and Hen on the other side to go all the way up. This is a back and forth, and it looks like they have the wings of Hycris's trio.
It really doesn't matter what weapons are in the inventory here in this engagement. We've seen a gray makeshift shotgun get the job done. So you see that green makeshift normally in anyone else's hands, you'd be like worried, but look at it. It's going to be fine. They're setting up shy. Break this down for us.
Yeah, right now, too, it's not only a war of HP and loadouts, it's a war of resources. While Janus, I believe, was on the backside and used all his mats as a solo, when Hycris, Vortex, and Knight wanted to respond to him, all 3 of them had to use their mats to catch up. So they basically, look how many ramps are invested over here from all 3 players. They're losing this war on resources. Only Janus has basically used his mats right here. Chapix and Hen have been just farming up the whole time. We'll see how that goes. It looks like Cerebrally is going to be Janus's team that's winning right now. Stacks, Andretta, Savage, Refsguard, they had their early game fight. Slender got taken out immediately from what I saw over there. It'll be free for those guys to keep moving on. Right now, it just looks like Knight is confused. I'm not sure if he knows exactly where these guys are. Janus was out of build, up to back to 200-300. It's about these resources. Just keep watching them. They have so many to farm down here. and Knight up top, he can't drop down the farm. As soon as they drop the farm, Janus will hear that. They'll go back up. Their position is so strong right now.
This is a great defensive stance. In the previous engagements, when I looked at the VOD, they have the potential to flank. Hen really went all the way towards Pristine Point, almost, it felt like. He went that way, looped back around, and got some big beams in the back. So, this is not an engagement that's going to be over just yet. You already mentioned Retail Row already having issues. We saw as well Weeping Woods, Save It going down in the feed. That's been a battle that's been going back and forth the entire time. Save It having the upper advantage, but momentum is going to be the big factor going forward.
Yeah, and why is this happening? Why is it different from before? You know, the last game we saw Janison and Chapix go for an immediate fight, and it was scrappy. It's because of the psychology around it. Look at the zone on the left. They have zone at Craggy. They can really draw this out. And they've baited Hikers all day into this fight. They know they're not going anywhere. They know they basically are living in their heads rent-free, Janus at least, and they're going to go for this fight no matter what to try to win it. They're down 6-1 as well. Because of this, this is free surge tags for Janus. This fight will happen no matter what. And man, Vortex is getting antsy. They're already shooting shots down below Sancho. It really, right now, it seems like Hen, Chapix, and Janus are inside their heads.
The only time I've seen a disengagement here in the tournament is Hen's trio went to Flopper Island to disengage, to regain a little bit of resources, to regain a little bit HP, and then they came back and wiped out Knight. The thing that's going to be different here is that Tripper's trio that usually rotates into that hasn't been doing this yet. Now they're rolling in. They're rolling in right now, and they're going to send beams, and we saw Chapix get beamed from that area here, and that could be just enough for High Curse's trio to find that opening to get rid of Hen's trio.
Now, what Sancho's calling for is basically the third party of a different team on this left hill that comes in, and Uruguay 74, that's Chapix, by the way, was on high ground. He was in the position of this opposite team, Vortex, the night before. He got beaten hard. I think these guys have learned from that. They're now playing low. There's no chance that third party team can actually shoot them. So, to make a move, and they can't. Meanwhile, on other sides of the map, Lazy Lake always active, especially with Bad Sniper Marvin and SC. They've actually moved towards the center of the map off the POI, chasing a fight. Bad Sniper with big shots on the dimensions. They're still going forward. This one's getting real scrappy too. I mean, Sancho, no one's holding anything back on day 2.
Not at all, and Marvin's trio had their best finish in game 1 of this day here, which is 7 out of the 12. But this is just a messy rotation. This southern rotation, I call it the struggle rotation, man. The struggle of the south right here that's happened real. Every time we've already seen it in game 7, now in game 8, you're seeing all the kind of chaos that's happening. Jamside hasn't had a great tournament run because of this, and you already seen Pizza, who's just able to be a little bit better because he's able to rotate, but now Pizza is actually late rotating here, as you see Fast Rookie Art and Pizza on the backside of this engagement down in Gorgeous Gorge.
I've never seen people voluntarily go down to the gorge, let alone 3 teams to fight, so there's definitely something weird going on for their game strategies.
Yes. I mean, you know, what ends up happening in the EU is they stopped saying, you know what, I'm done doing long-range Storm Surge tags. I want a box fight. It happened last season. They get up in people's faces. The more confidence is happening, it's like, we could beat these guys. I could hear Levin saying it. This is my voice. We could beat these guys, and we could take it to them. And that's what I think what it is. More importantly, I said it in the previous game, Shayo, it comes down to elimination points being 2 points. You get that value out of that. We've already been seeing the 6 points that's been helping out Hen's trio kind of bolt them up a little bit. They took over first place against Resguard's trio.
Hvor landa de her, da?
This is a stalemate.
This guy, that gorge is looking anything but gorgeous right now with all those teams in there.
Defensive stance in the
he has high ground. That was too easy. And now he's on the chase down. Percival shaking in his boots, getting absolutely beast controlled. This is about to drop him in the box too. He's missing edits. What's going on here? All the way around, he has an infantry rifle. That's not good close range. Has to throw over the pump and land a big shot, but it's only green. He's gonna escape all the way and make sure he finds his way back to his team. Bloom took big shots. Percival actually down. You're trying to go toe-to-toe with Tayson, Nate, and 4ZR. I get it. Bloom, Percival, Tomsy. They're also really good at these fights, but this is, you know, outclassed matchup right now. These guys are just working this trio, and it's good to go for these mid-game fights, especially when you're behind and try to shake things up. It's also just so risky. On the same box right now, on the walls, they're just shooting pumps at it, not even swinging their pickaxes, and they get in basically unscathed. Tayson will be able to make it up. Everything will look fine. What a fight. Masterclass on the mid-game fight there from 4ZR, Tayson, and Nate.
It looks like Bloomy's luck has run out of that trio. They've been avoiding that engagement down on the West Coast. They were always worried that they'd be taken out. That's what happens with the Sweaty Sands teams. But it looks like Tayson's
Ja. Nei. Kødda. De er på 4.-plass, Tøysen. De er bare 3 points unna Anas og Flick, da. Og så er det Andretta. Og Savage, og så er det Jannis, hen og de gutta. Så ser det som...
Not really landing any shots on anyone through builds either. The big Elam comes in, the siphon finish, and now he's looking for more. Gonna pick up Shadow all the way up top. Get that clutch. Revive, very nice. This is also just a very, very messy fight.
Very messy. The fire actually knocked their teammate. That's what happens when everything gets set ablaze. Wakey's going to go ahead and bring back iDrop into the fight here. This is actually another big fight because look at the inventory that Joe, Stompy, and Shadow have. Joe has so much shield, but at the same time, Stompy's Trail has 4 peppers. And you know that's going to be a great win condition for Joe, Stompy, and Shadow. That is part of their game plan. They got a victory out by playing for hype when the zone went down towards Hollyhedge's Meadows. And they're below Storm Surge, and that's why they're taking this fight. But they open up that door and get greedy. By some shots.
Dangerous for Joe. This man is a walking llama right now. If he gets taken out, like golden tackle shotgun, you're talking about the bigs. He has so many. He has 3 still after using one. Like, you do not want to go down if you're Joe here.
You know this has to kill the deal, right? The feeling like they want to get down into that. They're so anxious. They're so HP thirsty. They want to get down there. Yeah, they want to get into that fight, but they're trying to slow down their ways. They're trying to slow down that temptation to get in there.
Stuff on both ends. People are definitely learning from yesterday. Every time a team went third party into a fight, didn't really come out with much and sometimes lost a teammate. So they're letting everyone just isolate and do their own thing. Like us, they're watching along and having a good time. Hope you guys are too. Endon is here now with Jaku as well. Crazy, crazy solo performances from Endon all across the season, and now he's looking to get into this fight close and personal as well. Some teams are still on that classic game plan of invade boxes, look for these aggressive tags, and most of them are also lower on the leaderboard. You were talking about it, Sancho. Elims are a dope way to make up, you know, some of the mistakes from yesterday, but at the same time, going for Elims, even in this spot, is so risky.
Now we're taking a look at the rest of the board here. The Squeeze is being pressured by Kirachi here, and it's crazy. They're nowhere to be found. They've been not having this tournament run that we've all expected them this entire season. Has been just a more like a hide, or was it a Jekyll, you know, situation for them. They're just not the same French trio that we saw last season, the previous season before that. And two is Kirachi. They have an opportunity to close out that chapter here and lobby that trio. I'm just flabbergasted, sir. Flabbergasted.
Red Rush Exteriors Mappy coming through the first game, not that consistent, just 2 points in total on the day. They gotta look to actually just, you know, make things the most. It's so hard to stay invisible, be passive, go for beams. They're fighting Flois on the same box right now, but not gonna really find much. He's gonna build all the way up towards Kaiser. Down a teammate. Meanwhile, now this entire server is just devolving into box fights left and right. Even your former first place trio is fighting your current first place trio. Hengen is Tapix, and 2 of them are down. These guys are leading the leaderboard over the cumulative 2 days. And their chances of getting points this game are running out. Flames ablaze around Chapix, and he's taking ticks over and over, down to 16 HP. There's nowhere for him to hide. Shots on all sides. Every single bullet you see go by is trouble for him. His builds are still burning. Chapix, be careful. Flick's on the other side, low HP too. He's walking through flames, not even affected. What is this?
Through the fire, and I don't think he's gonna have a 9th place finish. No way. Not this game, considering that you have Indretta here that's trying to take that first place spot. You have Lanouf as well. This is the team that kind of lands at risky reels. And look at that. Storm starts going down, and Thomas HD gets taken out. And Nas is left by himself. Indretta is now pushing Slicks. And Lanouf is just trying to back up his teammate here. And Anas is in a big shamble situation here. Storm Surge still ticking through, and Savage is going to look to clean that up. Takes it up and cleans it up. Now he's going to push forward towards Chapix, and maybe Storm Surge is turned off. Maybe Chapix could breathe just a moment. Yes, he could breathe for a moment.
Yeah. Nas Thomas and Flick, they were the last team that had basically, you know, no surge tags whatsoever, no damage dealt on the map. That lightning, where it took down Flick first. Thomas went away second, and Nas could still not find any damage. and goes down as the last player for the threshold. The Loof 6 and Marine is not going to be here, looking to also go across. And Dreda is just shooting them with stink blows. Now, there's actually another trio from the left side. Lanoof's having so much trouble moving in. Savage tries to relieve a little bit of pressure off from him because they're getting shot too. This is so tricky, and Zone is still moving.
Savage's weapon of choice in this tournament has been the stink bow. When I VOD reviewed, they would get into a little bit of the storm surge. They'd get like a couple spaces in and turn and just rain down stink bows. He was basically crop dusting the entire lobby, man. It was just stinky. He was getting a lot of 5 HP tags all over the place.
It's quiet now across the map too. Everyone's kind of stopped. That surge gets everyone really active, pushed into boxes. Now they're looking for position to play out the rest of the game. Savage basing up with Andretta and Redguard low ground. I'm not sure what happened last game, but Refs and Savage were basically taken out. Andretta had to clutch. Tapix is still alive somewhere, it seems as. Hasn't gone down, might even have the reboot cards, so it's gonna be tough to revive everyone right here. The zone pulls left again, so Savage, Redguard, and Andretta is just a pit stop on this road trip. They're not done yet.
What is done is Chapix taken out by the storm. So now first place is out. That's going to be an opportunity for Resguard and Dreda and Savage to move up. Also third place, Flickanos and Thomas H. we saw in the previous engagement taken out. Let's take a peek at Zone 4. It's going to be a battle at Risky Reels. And we've already seen some fireworks. We've already seen blockbuster hits already in this tournament run. I'm expecting another summer blockbuster hit here for Game 8.
Game 2 on day 2. This is very similar to what happened yesterday. Game 2 actually went to the Orchard, and it was this trio that ended up winning the game from low ground. They popped off. Queasy was on height, so maybe Queasy, Trulux, and Jerky might have some experience being high ground this game. But Andretta, Resguard, Savage, this might not be where they drop. In terms of end game, this is their home. They know exactly how to navigate the zone. They're used to the roads, used to the rivers. They take everything to their advantage and make the space. This game to win, it has to be theirs. On height, though, it's not Trulux this time just yet. Nate, Tayson, and Forcy are looking to control the game.
Det er enten så er de
Nate and Tayson,
i midten, eller så er de
eliminations right now. They're another team that they can move up their leaderboard as well. In fourth place, one of those teams we've talked about, conservative play. Just get into the end game, just trying to get positioning, not taking too aggressive box fights. We all know that Tayson and Forzy and Nate, they're on the road to redemption. Tayson decided to switch out his teammates. He wanted a more serious trio mates in this back, someone who's going to grind with them. We're seeing the fruits of their labor right now, getting within striking distance of a championship. Nate, 4ZR last season, of course, on the road for redemption, didn't really make it into the grand finals. We know that their finals is all about that. We thought they would be there. They weren't there. So this is going to be an opportunity, a chance to kind of turn their fate and let everybody know that they still got it.
Definitely the most improved trio of the entire season. They're still looking for shots. They're not exactly in zone all the way just yet, at least not that half of the base. Gonna be praying and hoping that it pulls their way, but we'll have chances to move no matter what happens. Wakey down below, there's trouble inside a little bit of those lower tier boxes, lower ground bases. People are going down left and right. Exterio's taken out. Alpha having trouble, and then taken out by Noah Riley as well. These guys are popping, but there's so many angles they have to cover.
I'm surprised. Stacey brought back his teammates. Stacey brought back that team. And wasn't he all by himself? Like, weren't they just being pressured by Kirachi?
Yeah, I was a solo. I guess they got everyone back. Yeah, okay.
Run. Okay, they're not.
Big reboot came through, but no matter, they were coming from the south side. They must be exactly where Noah Riley is too. Look at the zone. This is a huge rotation, and builds are burning at the same time. You cannot cross that ground. Noah Riley will have to go around. And Alexis Sweet Stacey, yeah, I guess the reboot came through in the Spire or Boney Birds. Yeah, they'll actually end up playing out the full game. That's clutch from X Squeeze. Meanwhile, near the river, this is where patience is tested. Safik and Siberia haven't moved just yet, and they have the longest and toughest rotation with a team beside them.
They've been coming from Coral Castle, and for them to actually finish day 1 in around 15th place is already a feat in itself. They solved the puzzle of Coral Castle. For the longest time in the FNCS, no trio has really found success. They found some success. Just to paint a picture, last season, Kenzel, alongside with Waking Deceptos, finished in 30th place coming out of here. If Safik and Siberia could finish as a duo, that would be a great run, but look already what's happening. Noah, Riley, and Reason and the Deal have become a hype team. They stopped buzzsawing the lobby, and now they're flying high in the sky.
You're
Bro,
telling me
din
no
må
O'Reilly,
kan ikke
Badil,
vinne.
and Reason
never heard of
over
that.
8 hours after sleeping learned patience? That's insane.
Surprise. That's a
They really want to win. They want to come back. Remember, Sancho, first and then down to 16th after 6 games. They're trying to climb their way back up. They're 10th place right now on the cumulative leaderboard. They're looking to rise higher and higher. Here is who is in their way: Trulex, Squeezy, and Jerky. They're uncomfortable right now. They're itchy. They're not used to being second height. They like being the highest in the lobby, and it looks like they have a little bit of advantage on zone. Just like yesterday in game 2, this team took control of height. They tried to pop off. They could not clinch the game. This time, they'll try to do it once again, but they have an entire Titan to take down. It's not free for them. They have to get through no O'Reilly, Badil, and Reason.
How is Reason's trio going to be able to handle this? Trulix does have a pepper here. Are they going to go ahead there, look for the chop? We've seen Trulix's trio get chopped before in a phenomenal way by Badil's trio themselves. In game 1, they chopped them out, and they were able to take height and the Victory Royale. So they're clashing again. Just look at this run, child.
Oh, Reason! I think he got hit by a bow from Trulex. They're screwing for the backside. There's so many teams moving over. This is huge for Trulex if he goes up. Yep, 173 damage above. It must have been a big shot, but they're still fighting. Squeezy all the way up top. Meets over to Trulex. Look at how much this costs, Sancho. No shields in Trulex's inventory. Two of the teammates took 100 damage, and now they have height. A deja vu of day 1. Can they actually end up finishing the game, though?
They need the resources to hold on. Day 1, they couldn't hold on to height at all. They kept losing it here around zone 7. So they have to keep an eye on the backside. Let's see who's second from height. They actually have Andelix and Snazy, but they already lost a trio mate. So I don't know if they're going to take it here. So that focus has to be down on the low ground. Savage and Dreda, Ref's card. They have an opportunity to get the victory out. The question is, they're down the soft match. So if they can find an impact refresher, get that frag, get back some builds and hard mats, they can walk away with their game 2 victory out again.
Whoa, what a risky rotate. They go all the way in. No builds whatsoever. Here's the refresh opportunity. Big shot from Savage. It's huge. They do get one body. Fully eliminated. The mats are back in the inventory. Savage, though, has none. Can't build any ramps. Can't do anything. Can't defend himself. Dodges them left and right. Savage is rolling. Finds him. They're both going to be together. Refsguard must have the builds. They're an old mats. It's looking good. Jason down in the feed. Savage at home right now. This is their zone. They can win this game.
The materials are running low, but at height as well, the materials are running out. And Dreda's trio is getting in second place. Forzr and Tayson in fourth place. They're making the way, but look, their materials is running low as well. Pressure coming from height, pushes them down to the low ground. It's a very dangerous layer to be on. Forzr with 3 eliminations, 12 HP, knocks Mr. Savage, stops that trio right in their tracks. Forzr on the track for redemption here is barely alive and is going to have to go to the med kit play and hopefully catch someone else on the backside of the store.
Does he have it down to 2 HP? And yes, he picks it up. A stop sign on the highway of low ground. Forzr keeps his chances alive in this game. Trulex, Jerky, and Queasy, though, on height. They're still alive, and they're looking real good. They might not have too many materials, but they have a chance to do a lot of pressure down. It's somewhat of a bounce back zone, so they don't need to do too much over here. A chance for a breather. Their Elam's looking good, 2-5 so far. Floki, though, is still on low ground. A very dangerous trio to go head-to-head with in the end game. Hadi alive, smacked down by the nuke. So many different teams down below that are so good at these high-pressure situations. Trulex, Squeezy, and Jerky have a big task ahead of them, and another misthink that might cost them a lot in the end game.
This is where it gets sketchy for them as they make their way down. Neb's going down. Floki, you already said it. A very nightmarish trio to deal with here. Has 2 floppers, 2 med kits. He's going to be the man that's going to be sitting on the high ground and sending him much pressure. Clement Deceptos are still there. Waze is already going in for the med kit. He's coming for the backside storm. Waze against Kiriachi gets knocked, and that's what happens when you do the flopper pay. You get the angles to send the beams on through. Floki, Deceptos, and Clement, they don't see Waze. Clement gets tagged in from the backside. Clement has to play some defense. Clement, hold on, and Clement responds with the elimination.
Oh my god, man.
3v3, and this time Queasy can't choke. Trulex looking up high, almost out of materials as well. They have to try to win this game to redeem themselves from mistakes yesterday. They want to make up the whole leaderboard as well from what we saw before and yesterday. 2 Trulex, Squeezy, Jerky are looking for the drop down. 2 different teams, big shots below. Deceptos down. It's a huge drop. Trulex is the insurance. He has to go below. I think he might be the last one left here. One more flopper. And these guys are still in zone. It's too early, but he has the angles. Trulex gets it all the way in the end game. The same zone from yesterday. They win it out. They're looking glorious today, Sancho.
They have to feel good. I know they probably look at the VODs to see like, yeah, man, we had hype this many times. If we just clean up a couple of things, we just hold on, we get a couple, be a little bit more aggressive, get some elims, stomp out the low ground, we could win more games. And they just got their first victory out here in day 2, Shio.
Yeah, but 4ZR, so many low ground teams going down to that zone. It's uncharacteristic. That was a very, very tough game. We have to toss it back to the desk to break it down and show us what we missed.
Alright, Queasy, Trulex, Jerky.
So there's one thing.
You know, if you ever look high ground, if there's a team up there, it's them. That's it. It's gonna be them forever. Boys, fantastic second game on the day. And I like how the casters kind of set this up. They're looking for that redemption arc, right? They like yesterday, I don't even care about yesterday. Today, we're gonna show up big.
Yeah, and I think like that storyline is so true for indeed reason for deal no Riley as well, right? You gotta think, winning that first game, and it looked like
Lutborg Queasy. Trulex og Jerky.
Their team is so
Hvilken plass ligger Mr. National på?
Jeg tror de ligger på sånn topp 5.
They haven't been on height ever in the history of them playing tournaments at this point.
Yeah, literally, the whole day of yesterday, it was literally like, how's the weather down there, boys?
Hvilken plass ligger Benji også på?
Them up above, time and time again.
Hvilken plass ligger Benji og bygger på?
Converted into victory hours a lot of the time, and that was a real issue. You know, we know this is how they play. You look at Queasy and Trulex historically throughout multiple Fortnite seasons, they opt to play high ground. This season, right, Jerky's been a spark for them. You saw Jerky when they were taking like Germans down, right? No Riley, they'll wipe them out, you know what I'm saying? And from there, it was really great play, and they held out high, and they was able to convert into a win. More of these, and they might sneak into contention, guys. I'm calming down a bit, but it's possible. It's always possible.
Look, Fortnite's taught us, right? Anything is possible. It just depends on how you approach that end game. So, let's actually talk about this end game coming out of last game, game number 1, because we saw a little bit of a heal off that was a little bit of a flub.
Yeah,
det her må du se på, Mats. Det her var helt sjukt.
Thomas and Nas on high ground, very similar to
Det
this
var
last
helt sjukt, ass. Du må se på det.
Setting up the heal potential here, freezing down below on the
Ser du på det her nå?
Now, one of the things we want to keep an eye out is, look, Thomas Ishi's just taken a tick to zone right here. If you notice, his HP has gone down to 90 at this point, right? No longer at 100. He has the medkit's inventory. This means he is able to actually use the medkit to stay alive a little bit longer in the zone. So notice he keeps going forward, but this is where a fatal mistake comes out, right? Next thing, you notice, again, after harvesting that, 2 builds. 2 builds remaining only. So this is also why Anas has to drop down, because he has absolutely 0 here. So he uses those 2 builds right here, and notice the positioning. He's at the back rather than being at the front here. Will this allow Reason on low ground not to be able to see him? But the issue is he's too close to the edge of the zone down at the bottom here, which means when he starts popping his medkit, I mean, we all saw how unfortunately it ended up going for him. Still, now moving down to Reason's perspective on low ground, this is a thing of beauty. This is what we love to see from a fighter.
Det var sykt clutch av Reason.
But this edit
is
beautiful because he has a keep on the other side, and the Nas can't see him at all. And this manages to pick up a beautiful shot for him. And this, look, 5 and the elimination goes through, and instead, playing on high ground with the medkit too far to the back with not enough time, and unfortunately he ends up eliminated. But let's see how that last game also kind of transitioned onto these.
Rett der på
finish there, Reese. Looking at the standings though.
Nice.
The board, Refs God and Mr. Savage. We got to watch them, you know, they're having a decent day, but not comparable to what they did yesterday. The key thing to know here is Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky shooting all the way up into second now. And you know, I hear the laugh, Zeke, but you know it. They are closing that gap. They are looking to try and become FNCS champions at the end of today.
Yeah, and it's looking like it could be not only them in the running though, because Rescard and Dress Savage, huge game for them. 4ZR Tyson and Nate too. Look at the difference between first all the way down till third, and you can't count out Henjanis Chapix too. Look at how close all of these players are in the top 4 with 4 games remaining. And I must say, this is going to be an exciting 4 games going forward. Any of these teams right now are completely in the running.
This is only game 2. Look, you guys know that I stress. I feel the emotions. Don't do this to me. I mean, I'm down. Like, you know what? Let's keep making this a close competition to the very end. I'm super down. But once again, man, Queasy and his trio, I don't understand why people are just allowing them to be up there. Just stop them from getting high ground. They're going to close out games if you let this happen. But again, there's all these other trios, man. It's literally like there's a feeding frenzy on EU right now. And it's just like whoever finds that window to attack, they're going to close it out. But okay, I know, Zeke, I know, it's game time. We're jumping back into the action. This is game number 3 on the day, aka 9 of the series. Let's get into all the action.
In EU right now, it's all about the
Game is starting.
You gotta think about it. Aussie Antics on the NAE's broadcast, it says, you know, high ground gets games, low ground wins tournaments, but so far, Queasy, Trulix, and Jerky are flipping that table, put it on the other side, and they're looking really solid here in day 2. As I mentioned, day 1, they had high all the time, and they almost were able to walk away with multiple victory royales. And they most likely decide, you know, we just gotta cheer up the defense, but to make sure the backside is being protected, because that's all the time they had been happening, is they would lose it on the high ground retake coming from a flank with just normal builds. And that's what's so fantastic about this meta, is that you're able to kind of hold on to height. There's no bouncers, there's no shockwaves, there's no caddy launcher that kind of come up in there to take it away from you. So we're seeing what they could do. Now, the question going forward, as we're going to get into the later stages of the game, as you do see Weeping Wolf, David battle versus Blaster is still continuing there, is who is going to change up their kind of strategy. And when they change strategy, this is where it gets kind of tricky here. Refs in mid-air, this is where it's dangerous, because as I mentioned, what ends up happening as the tournament goes on, people change up their strategies and they try to stop you from winning. In season 4, when Mongrel's trio was being all of a sudden got pushed out of Stark Industries. We saw it in season 5, right? All the teams landing on SETI to slow him down in day 1. So the question will be, who is going to slow down Resguard? And it looks like Elocrass and Hottie and Tripper are here to stop and slow down Indreda's trio.
They're hunting for Resguard too. I don't think Indreda's going to be able to go back and pick him up. He's hiding under a bridge though, so those free mats might be tough to find. For Hottie's trio, they're actually looking directly under it. They understand how far refs can actually crawl. Meanwhile, another trio goes down on the other side of the map. I'd have to imagine that's either so many
Savage.
So I would say sad to watch, because you want to make sure everyone here is having a good day overall. I believe that's Wolfie's fighting it out, or Slender actually fighting it out with Kiko on that side. But as we look at Craggy, it might be a 2-man operation for this trio, although they're working really well to get to end game. There's always this clutch. We saw Savage try to do in one of the games yesterday. We had Indreda in that last game survive as his trio went down and get all the placement towards the very end and at least one more moving zone. They're gonna have to clutch again as a duo this time, starting off early.
I think the theme of day 2, Shayo, is patience. Patience is showing what patience can work out to, being consistent, just trying to work their way in, net a couple points here, 20, 30 points right now. They're averaging 25.88 points here, so they're doing really solid, keeping up the pace. And we have to say, will Noah Riley, as you see on the bottom right of your screen, will that patience hold on? It's going to be tested. Every time they see a box fight, every time they see anyone rotating out in the open, that is going to be like, do we box dive in? Do we go back our old ways? Because, you know, habits are hard to break. You know what they say? It says it takes 2 weeks to form a habit. Maybe here in the Fortnite world, it takes about 3 games. Maybe that's your new habit for the rest of the way.
It might be. I feel like the habits formed in this game are also centered around emotions. Like when it comes to this trio, they're looking real good so far. Meanwhile, though, Craggy Cliff, it looks like Hen, Janice, Chapix actually end up going down starting off this game. It might be an off-spawn scenario. It might have been a third party completely. But, you know, we're talking about emotions. They have to be emotional after that one. They're slowly falling behind these 3 teams, Jerky, Tayson, and Savage, game after game. They've now gone all the way down to 4th place. Used to be up top near 1st. Yeah, absolutely. Vortex Knight, I don't see Hikers just yet. That might have been the cost of the fight. Are going to be here, surviving for this game, and inhibiting Chapix and Janice for getting any points.
The mental of our defending FNCS champions will be tested. They had lost only 1 engagement yesterday, and every time they walked out of it, they got 2 victory royales with double-digit eliminations. The other times, they ran into Vidil. Vidil had a vendetta. Last season, Vidil's trio got taken out by Hen's trio, in that $100,000 box fight. I will never forget that call. That was an intense situation, and that's what it all came down to last season. We're getting closer and closer to the final game here out of the 12. This is just the halfway point here in day 2, and already we are already seeing like all the Savage fans are High Chris fans right now, right? All the Hin fans are like the Tripper fans right now. They're all just hoping that the other can like drop spot, go the opposite way. And wow, this is the FNCS.
Think about the ramifications of that off spawn. Now